Good morning, New Hope. Let's stand up and let's head into our service today. Happy Advent. Today is the first week of Advent, as you can see from the candles and the loving Christmas Santa Claus rocking chair. Let's go in. We're gonna do some familiar carols and some familiar worship songs and have a good time today.
On the clouds, kingdoms will bow down, and every chain will break as broken hearts declare His praise. Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Our God is the Lion of Judah. He is roaring with power and fighting our battles. Every knee will bow before Him. Our God is the Lamb that was slain for the sins of the world. His blood breaks the chains, and every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. Every knee will bow before Him. Open up the gates, make way before the King of Kings. God who comes to save is here to set the captives free. Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Our God is the Lion of Judah. He is roaring with power and fighting our battles, and every knee will bow before Him. Our God is the Lamb that was slain for the sins of the world. His blood breaks the chains, and every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. Every knee will bow before Him. Who can stop the Lord Almighty? 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 Who can stop the Lord? Our God is the Lion of Judah. He is roaring with power and fighting our battles, and every knee will bow before Him. Our God is the Lamb that was slain for the sins of the world. His blood breaks the chains, and every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. Every knee will bow before Him.
of ages cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee. Let the water and the blood from thy wounded side which flowed be of sin a double cure. Save from wrath and make me pure. Of my hands can fulfill thy law's demands. Could thine heal no respite know? Could my tears forever flow? All for sin could not atone. Thou must save, and thou alone. Nothing in and I bring, simply to the cross I cling. Naked come to thee for dress, helpless look to thee for grace. Bow I to the fountain fly, wash me Savior or I die. While I draw this fleeting breath, when mine eyes shall close in death, when I soar to worlds unknown, see thee on thy judgment throne. Rock of ages cleft for me, let me hide myself in thee. All right. Yes. I don't think I know that one, actually. I don't know that one. I'll have to look it up. All right, before we go into our Advent songs, I'd like to draw attention to the ways we have to give to New Hope in our Lord. It's up on the slide. You guys can read the slide. I believe it's mail, online, and gray box in the back. And with that, let's sing some Christmas carols. Or Advent carols. Advent carols. All right. Oh, come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lowly exile here, until the Son of God appears. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, thou day spring, come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, thou wisdom from on high, and order all things far and nigh. To us the path of knowledge show, and cause
I'll come to thee, O Israel.
All right, I think you can be seated. We're doing an Advent thing next, right? The candles, or is there another thing? I don't remember. It'll happen.
Can I sit in special chair? Hey, kids. There's the edge of their seats. Hello, my name is Tim, and I have the pleasure of highlighting some announcements this morning. I've been given a script, but if you don't mind, I would like to riff a bit as well, obviously. If you want to know more about what is going on here at New Hope Community Church, sign up for the eNew Hope. Yeah, by stopping in our Welcome Center over there, or by scanning this QR code. Horseshoe crabs are weird, right? We've got the New Hope Christmas party. Mark your calendars. Mark your calendars and get ready for the annual New Hope Christmas party. It will be on December 12th at 7 p.m. at the Gravy Boat, which is the name I just made up for the Graves Abe's house. Please bring a sweet or savory snack or a libation to share. The party is open to adults and teens, but parents, we want you to know there will be alcohol present. There will not be a gift exchange because we have enough of Sarah Wong's junk. Sorry. But there will be games hosted by our game maker, Carl Gore. Hilarious moments, because I'll be there, and fantastic conversation. Do the Grave Babies have a dog? Yeah? All right. I just like dogs. It's always one of the highlights of the year and is an event you don't want to miss. Have you ever seen the bottom of a horseshoe crab? They're legitimately alien bugs. Look it up. Christmas concerts. New Hope Community Church is a church of very talented people. Like several of those are performing in various Christmas concerts around our area. Please check out this most recent eNew Hope with all the details about what concerts are happening. Horseshoe crab blood is used in medical and pharmaceutical fields to create Limulus amoebocyte lysate. I'm sure Peter knew that. A substance used to test for bacterial contamination in vaccines and medical devices. The value of horseshoe crab blood is $60,000 per gallon. Yeah, I thought Jesus' bread was precious. Christmas Eve. Come join our family Christmas Eve service on December 24th at 6 p.m. There will be childcare for 3 and under. We hope to see you there. Last time I was in Ocean City, there was a horseshoe crab migration. They were everywhere, and they banged into me at least a dozen times while I was out there. There was one, it's true, one little girl was really freaked out about the water because of it until I dropped another fact. Horseshoe crabs are blind. They're terrified of you and mean no harm. Of course, I made that up. They see pretty well. They have 10 eyes. I'd like to think that she's going to be believing that well into her 20s before she looks it up herself. If you have any questions about anything going on here at New Hope, please stop by the Welcome Center. I'd now like to invite the McClymans up for a candle lighting and text reading. Come see me if you have any horseshoe crab related questions. Oh, yes, please. Yes, everybody, please be aware. This year, Christmas Eve is on a Wednesday. All right? All right.
Well, that's true. Don't have any horseshoe crab facts, but it's always a tough act to follow. Thank you, Dan. Anyway. All right, good morning. My name is Ian. This is Mary, Claire, and Luke, and we are the McClymans family, and we're very excited to be here for this first Sunday of Advent. So, today begins the season of Advent. It's fitting that this comes on the heels of Thanksgiving. Advent is a season of hopeful expectation, and yet a posture of gratitude for all that God has done is an appropriate heart check as we lean into the anticipation of what is to come. Advent is marked each week with the lighting of a new candle. This first candle is a candle of hope. Romans 15:13 says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope." Hope informs and reorients the present. God will put the world to rights. Our call is to act now as if all those changes are certain. Jesus' followers are called to live boldly and bravely now, already knowing the defeat of sin, death, and evil. Lord Jesus, we love you.
Could I have all of the kids up front? Children. You guys can have a seat. Have a seat, have a seat. Come on up, come on up. We need more, everybody. Very good. Well, good morning, children. Hello. Oh, man, we got a lot today. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Yeah, there's something in here. Okay, so welcome to... Yeah. It probably should have been, huh? You know? What would you name... What would you name a horseshoe crab if you were going to like have a pet horseshoe? Larry the horseshoe crab? Horse the horseshoe crab. Oh, horsey. There you go. Okay, so today is marks the beginning of what season? Hands. Well, yeah, December starts tomorrow, and you're very close because this season really kind of almost aligns up perfectly with December, but winter is, coming in a few weeks. We got some, sleet. We got a little bit of icy stuff, so that season is kind of coming up upon us quickly, but Sophie? Advent is what I was going for. Yeah, and so today marks the beginning of Advent. Now, here's a crazy question. Does anybody know what the word Advent means? Yeah. Martin?
Advent means Advent.
Yeah. So Advent means arrival, so we are essentially waiting. Advent is a season of waiting, where we're waiting for the arrival of, and here's the answer, Jesus. The arrival. But it's weird though because Jesus is already here. He's here with us right now. So it's not like, it's, I said in the New Hope last week, time. Yeah, it's like the remembrance. It's like this is something that we do on a yearly basis to remind ourselves, right, that Jesus is already born, but we're also reminding ourselves that there's something about waiting that's good for us to do. And the reason why that's a good thing for us to practice is because is the world exactly the way Jesus would want it to be? Not quite yet. So we're still waiting for not only we're remembering the earthly ministry, the first time he came, because we're actually awaiting and waiting for his return, because he's coming back and he's going to put the world all back together again. And so Advent begins. There's 4 different themes that we look at during Advent, and we heard the McClymans family talk about the first one. Does anybody remember what it was? Hope. Yeah. Now, what we have here is a mailbox that is going to contain an item that is going to kind of remind us a little bit about the item or the theme for today, which is hope. So what do you think, if we're thinking about hope, what do you think the item's going to be like, River? All right. A horseshoe crab. It's not a horseshoe crab. Well, that would have been funny, yeah? A horseshoe crab postcard. Wow, this is. All right, here we go. It is. Oh, it's a pocket watch. No. So this is a pocket watch. It actually belongs to Mr. Carl Gore. Yeah, it runs you down. Yep. And it reminds us that, like, it reminds us what time it is. Let me ask you this. Does anybody do anything to prepare for Christmas? What do you do for prepare for Christmas? What's that? You get a Christmas tree, yeah. You prepare for Christmas, yeah. Lots of space under the Christmas tree, yeah. Well, yeah, okay. Cleaning the house for guests, yeah, Emily?
Putting decorations around the house.
Yeah, okay, hands down. You do that because you're thinking about the day that is to come. Christmas is coming, and so you're preparing. Now, how might we, if we're thinking about Jesus coming back and the fact that Jesus is already here, how might we prepare for his arrival? So, what are the ways we prepare, or we kind of posture ourselves? That's a big word. That we get ready for Jesus to come back, or to remember that Jesus is already here. Like, what are the ways that we decorate for him? Kind of decorate for Christmas all year round. Does that make sense? Yeah. Well, we do a checklist, maybe, yeah. But I think the most important things that we can do to prepare for Jesus' arrival and remember that he's already here is love each other, is to spread joy and peace and patience and kindness and goodness and gentleness and faithfulness and practice self-control. Like, these are things we do in the meantime to build for God's kingdom, because he is all about using us to do things for him. God wants to use you. And so Advent is a season of waiting. It's a season of hoping. It's a season of anticipation. It's a series of expectation. Just because you guys can already see now, you can always already feel that, like, Christmas is coming. That's a good feeling, because it's a reminder. It already did come, right? It's a good feeling because it reminds us that Jesus already did come and that he's coming again. So that's basically the idea behind Advent. So next week we're going to do this again, and we're going to talk about another theme. But today we're going to hear from Pastor Jay, who's going to give a sermon in a few minutes. But for now, you guys are going to your classes, so I will dismiss you. But for now, I want you to say this real quick with me. Advent brings hope for today. Say that. Very good. All right. No. We promised Mr. Carl that only I would touch it. Oh, everybody else could stand and greet one another.
Do we have class today? Wait, we have class today? Is there upper elementary?
Good morning again. Good morning again. You love each other. That's wonderful. Practicing that anticipatory fellowship. Okay, my name's Joe, and I have the privilege of reading today's teaching text. The word of Isaiah, the son of Amoz, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. This is Isaiah chapter 2. It shall come to pass in the latter days that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established as the highest of the mountains, and shall be lifted up above the hills. And all the nations shall flow to it. And many people shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may teach us his ways, and that we may walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He shall judge between the nations, and they shall decide disputes for many peoples, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears to pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. O house of Jacob, come, let us walk in the light of the Lord. Do I keep going? That's it. Thanks be to the word of the Lord.
Man, do we need a word like this today in the world? Welcome to Advent season here at New Hope. The theme for this series is darkness to light. That's what we're focusing on, and I always think that's such an interesting contrast. God's light appearing at the darkest time of year, coming to us right in the time when it feels like there's nothing, when the sun goes down at 4:30 or something. Right? And Jesus was born into a time of darkness, unto a people who were desperate. The people of Israel at the time of Jesus lived under two principal authorities, and neither of which were desirable. They were under the authority of, who are the people ruling over them? Rome. Yeah, Rome. And they were forced to pay taxes that many of them could not afford. And those who could not pay their taxes were often sold as slaves. They became property themselves. And they often saw their fellow Jews put down, laughed at, mocked by the Roman soldiers, even tortured, and those seen as disruptive were hung on crosses. So, not a very desirable authority. But at least the Jews had religious leaders to guide them, right? They were led by a group of religious leaders who had abdicated their role as shepherds, had basically given it up and compromised all of the good authority they were meant to have. They loved being seen as morally superior, but they had forgotten God himself. They compromised justice. Before this gets too heavy, really what I'm saying is Jesus was not welcomed into a happy church and Sunday school world, or the Jewish version thereof. It's like, okay, kids, we have a very special treat for you guys today. It's our very own Messiah, Jesus. It was not like that. My point is most people had no thought, no notion whatsoever that Jesus was actually coming. And who could blame them? Israel had been waiting on Isaiah's prophecies for 700 years for this rescuer, this Messiah to come. Americans, we can't fathom this, right? Our country turns how old next year? 250, right? And that seems ancient to most of us, right? 250. But think about what this means. This means 20 plus generations had passed since Isaiah's words. If you give about 33 or so years to a generation, that means about 20 plus, maybe even 25. That had been a long time. Why would they have even had a reason to believe he was coming? Yet the people of Israel did hold on to hope that God would fulfill his promise. He would send a Savior, and he would bring both justice and mercy, something the Israelites had not seen much of. We know the song, we just sang it, but sit with the words for a second. If it helps you, close your eyes, think about these. O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here until the Son of God appear. It's powerful when you really sit with the words, the dark place that it meets you in, isn't it? I shared an Advent message a couple years ago about the exile we live in. The world right now, as Pastor Joe just said when we had his little message right up here with the kids, it's not the way it's meant to be right now. This is not what God intended. We may not be dealing with, we may not be under oppression of that kind, but we all have different things that are oppressive to us, that are crushing us. We need hope in this season of Advent. We need the lyrics of that song. Oh, come, Emmanuel. We have to reach back over 2,000 years to hear what God might say to us about hope this morning. And so you hit the next slide. The first Sunday of Advent, we're talking about hope. Oh, wow, that really did come out well. I never got to see these slides ahead of time. Usually I put these together and then send them over, but I did not get to see these, and we can't find the clicker. If anyone happens to see a clicker missing, feel free to let us know. So therefore, you'll hear me saying, please change the slide a lot. So let's talk about hope. Hope is a wonderful gift that can become vague if we don't clarify what we mean by it. It's one of those words that can get overused. So, in the next slide. First, hope is a confident expectation of something you don't yet have. You hope for what you don't have, right? Because once you possess the thing you hope for, you don't need to hope for it anymore, right? You have the thing you're looking for. It's like, it wouldn't make any sense. Like, a person like, man, I sure hope I get a new car. The old one's pretty shot. Actually, you already have a new car. It's in your cul-de-sac out there. You've had it for 4 months. Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's in my mind. Anyway. So the person's just like, wait a second. I have a car? Yes, you already have it. Oh, well then, what would be the point of hoping for it then? You already have the thing. So you hope for what you don't have yet. If you have something, you don't need to hope for it, but this matters because that which we hope for, we don't have, and we desperately, desperately need. And there's an ache in all of us. And someone always put it this way when I heard the gospel preached. There's a void in us that God alone is meant to fill. Only he can do it. Whatever you try to fill that void with, it just won't work. Think about things that you've tried to fill the void in your life with. What have those things been like? Relationships? Success? Maybe something you've longed for and wanted to get, wanted to buy, and you finally got that thing. And then you're going, man, it didn't fill me up as much as I thought it would. Anyone recognize, put the song lyrics up. Anyone recognize this song? Who's the band? Switchfoot. And the song is meant to live. We were meant to live for so much more. Have we lost ourselves? Somewhere we live inside. Somewhere we live inside. It may be different from person to person. You can go back to the next slide. But I'm guessing every one of us knows what this void means as we think about our lives right now. What in my life feels empty right now? What in my life is frustrating right now? What in my life feels meaningless? What in my life feels like it's not going anywhere? What in my life feels lost right now? I'll bet everybody here can think of some of those things. What things do I wish were different? And then, what will give me purpose? What is it that I think will give me the fulfillment I'm seeking? What is it that I think will give me wholeness? What is it that I think will give me a sense of belonging? What is that? So the void is very personal to us. And there's a collective void in this world. We have a world of broken nations, broken political systems, broken families, broken churches, broken lives. I mean, the brokenness is bigger than any of these singular things, right? We may fix a political system, but then eventually new issues will arise again, won't they? We could say, we've had a great solution. And here we are again with new problems because we are broken. There is a void only God can fill. We may get our way on something in life, but then we know that it's only a matter of time. The fix is temporary. It won't last because we are broken. There is a void only God can fill. Here's an example for us to think about in this season of life, and I'm cheering for us to find our new space as New Hope. I'm wait to see where God leads us. We may find a new semi-permanent church location that really lasts for us. It will alleviate some problems, but it won't solve the inner issues that any of us are dealing with. We will still have broken in us. There is a void only God can fill. It's great to have a perspective. I still hope we get a new place to meet. I think that's awesome. I just want us to have the right perspective that that's not going to solve the inner brokenness that we all battle with. This brokenness requires an intervention we cannot give ourselves. We want healing in our lives and in our world, and we also need healing within ourselves. So Isaiah 2:3, which Joe was just reading for us, it says, "Come, let us go to the mountain of the Lord, to the temple of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways so that we may walk in his paths." So hope is that confident expectation of something you do not have yet and desperately need. We'll talk more about how Jesus fills this void in just a bit. So that's the first thing. Let's go to the second thing. Hope is not always fulfilled the way we expect it to be. This was true for Israel, right? We've talked about Israel quite a bit. They knew God would send a rescuer, but they expected, what do you know, a political hero. Someone who was going to save Israel from Rome, from Roman oppression. Hope was not fulfilled the way Israel expected. How many people here are fans of The Chosen? Watching The Chosen? Okay, quite a few people like the TV show The Chosen. Let me put up a scene here. There's hopefully, am I spoiling this for people if I share this? This is from season 4. Okay. But I think this is so powerful. It'll still be powerful when you watch it, so sorry. But there's a scene where the Roman soldiers force the disciples. They meet just at a crosswalk on a hot, dusty day, and on a hot, dusty road, and they force them to carry their equipment 1 mile. They have the authority to do it. They can make them go 1 mile. And there's Jesus wearing the helmet of the Roman soldier, because the Roman soldier does not feel like wearing it anymore in the heat. The disciples loathe being forced to go 1 mile out of their way to do something they did not want to do, as any of us would. They expect Jesus, their Messiah, to stand up to the Roman soldiers. Imagine the disciples' shock and dismay When the Roman soldiers say, all right, you've done your 1 mile, stop, Jesus keeps walking. And they're saying, we told you can stop now. And Jesus said, is there any law keeping us from choosing to carry your equipment any further? Whoa. And he says, how far do you have to go? They're like, well, 1 mile, but you've done your 1 mile. And Jesus basically says, we're going to carry it all the way for you. An extra mile. And so they go an extra mile. All the disciples go along grudgingly. And all of them have this bitterness about them, especially Judas. It's like burning a hole right through him. And they're looking at Jesus like, you're supposed to save us from the Romans, not do their bidding. What are you doing? But Jesus is saving them. Jesus knows the disciples need to be saved from much more than an oppressive earthly empire. They need to be saved from bitterness, from seeing the Romans as their true enemies, from self-righteous rage, from the illusion that their own hearts are clean and they don't need forgiveness. You can go to the next slide. Has God ever saved you through something that upset or infuriated you at the time, that made you angry, or felt, this is not what I wanted? I've shared this before, but part of my testimony is back in my early 20s, I hoped to join the staff of a youth ministry called Focus that worked in private schools. And I'd been a volunteer at Focus Camp for 3 summers. And I'd spent half the summer up there doing camps with middle and high school students. And often had leaders, staff people recruiting me. Would you be on our team, Jay? You always seem to connect well with kids. And I was growing as a youth leader, and so I decided to apply for an internship. I thought this could be so great. That's a great step for me to move into the next level of youth ministry, to go to one of the regions and help out. So I applied, and I waited for the reply. 2 months later, I got a letter. It was the thin kind, the bad kind. You know what it said. As much as we appreciate you applying for this, we don't think you'd be a good fit. And I was devastated. I went, now what? What am I supposed to do now? And then the director of Focus, Simon, this guy named Simon Barnes, called me up and said, Jay, I'd like to get together with you while I'm in town. And I said, okay, I guess I'll meet. What good is it going to do now? And he sat down with me and he said, listen, I think you need some stuff that you need to grow in as a youth pastor, but what 22, 23-year-old doesn't? I'm not worried about you as a leader. Here's the problem, Jay. We don't have the structure for someone like you to thrive right now. Right now, we have a lot of staff who are overworking themselves in an unhealthy way, but they don't have any other choice. A lot of our staff work 80 to 90-hour weeks, honestly, and they have to be extreme self-starters. And he said, Jay, you would get to do youth ministry for maybe 10% of that time. Most of the time, you'd be doing all these other administrative details you can't stand. I'm worried it would ruin you, and you would never want to do youth ministry again. And I accepted his word, and I went, oh, okay, I guess that's cool, but I was still hurting over it. Just a few years later, as I looked back, I could see that God saved me from what likely would have been the end of my ministry work, because that would have been a miserable setting for me. And God put me in a great setting a year later. Sometimes getting what we hope for the way we want it is the worst thing that can happen to us. Sometimes God's bringing hope, though it feels as if he's taking it away from us, or he does not care. Jesus Christ, let's put this together before we wrap up the second point. Jesus Christ comes into the world to rescue Israel But the rescue is spiritual. Rome was not the true enemy. The defeat of Rome was not the goal. And his death on the cross was not only not an accident or a failure, it was the point. It was the whole idea. Jesus comes into the world to rescue us. But again, the rescue is spiritual in ways we can't understand. I have things right now in my life I'm still trying to understand that God has done. I'm going, well, why is that happening like that? And I'm sure you do as well. God is bringing the hope we need, not necessarily the hope we think we need. So first, hope is for that which we do not have. Second, hope often appears in a way we do not expect. And here's the third thing, the last of the things. When hope comes as God intends, it's going to blow our minds. It's going to be amazing. In Advent, let's just think about this whole season we're entering into for a moment. In Advent, we celebrate the coming of Jesus. We sing, "Come thou long expected Jesus." We sing, "Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel." We hang Christmas ornaments and set up little manger scenes featuring little baby Jesus. And we get to enjoy the season. We celebrate with friends. And then we get to Christmas Eve. We're transported to that holy night in Bethlehem. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. Silent night, holy night. It's going to sound as if I'm trying to pour cold water on our Christmas joy here. I'm actually trying to give us a new way to think about this season as we enter into it. We celebrate all these sweet things about Christmas, but then December 26th comes. And then New Year. We return gifts we did not want. Some of us recover from stressful time with family or other relatives. We catch our breath after all the insane busyness of December. We put away those manger scenes with baby Jesus and all the ornaments. It's so anticlimactic, isn't it? Christmas comes and Christmas goes. But not the Christmas we are looking forward to, my friends. Advent means so much to us because we long for God's kingdom. We are in a state of Advent, longing for the kingdom that will never end. The Christmas that will last and last. And Advent comes around this one time a year to remind us that it will come and that we are part of it happening. We do not see it in full, but it is happening. Back to Isaiah 2 for a moment. The law will go out from Zion. Joe read these words so beautifully just a little bit ago. The law will go out from Zion, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He will judge between the nations and will settle disputes for many peoples. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. All of a sudden, all the weapons of war become things that suddenly are useful for building society, not tearing ourselves apart. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. So in hope, God is going to blow our minds. Again, we don't even know what to hope for. Our concept of a better world, a more ideal existence that we hope for, we have no idea. We have no idea. The moment we see God unfolding his plans, we're going to be blown away. We'll be in awe. We're just going to be going, okay, God, you just do it, okay? Forget what I was thinking. Your idea is even better. I just want to be part of it. Show me what you want me to do. We're going to be psyched just to be part of this. Think of conflicts in your life, maybe with people or groups of people or whatever, that feel like they can never be resolved. And here's God settling those disputes once and for all. Here's God bridging the gap. Here's God exposing every wrong impression we've ever had. Here's God showing us all what justice really looks like. Here's God bringing his kingdom to earth. So I want to bring this to a close. You can go to the next slide. What do you hope for in this world? What do you hope for in your life? In this Advent season, we move from darkness to light. We acknowledge we do not have the light yet. We hope for what we do not have. So as we start off this Advent season, I'd ask you just to take a moment while the worship team can come on up if they would like to, and just think about the season to come. How does God want to connect this season for you to the bigger story of what he is doing and is going to do? So I just ask you to reflect on that for a moment, and the worship team will lead us. I think so.
Yes, we're in. All right. Okay, you're already standing. Perfect. Yeah, let's sing one more carol as we close, and then we'll do benediction.
Come, thou long expected Jesus, born to set thy people free. From our fears and sins release us. Let us find our rest in thee. Here's your strength and consolation. Hope of all the earth thou art. Dear desire of every nation. Joy of every longing heart. Born thy people to deliver, born a child and yet a king, born to reign in us forever. Now thy gracious kingdom bring, by thine own eternal Spirit, rule in all our hearts alone. By thine all-sufficient merit, raise us to thy glorious throne. Is your strength and consolation, hope of all the earth thou art, dear desire of every nation, joy of every longing heart.
As we close up this time, I guess I'd leave you with this as a benediction. May you find hope in the areas of your life where things feel hopeless. May you find hope in the areas where things don't feel like they're moving anywhere, or they feel stuck or they feel lost. May you find hope in that as we begin this Advent season, and may God be with you and bless you this day and this week. Have a great Sunday. Thank you, brother.